3, 2, 1. You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. We are on day 9 of the Real Holiday series. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and enjoying all these incredibly random things I'm reviewing for the holidays. I've got a review here tonight for one of my favorite episodes of The Fresh Prince ever. It's season 4, episode 13, which was Twas the Night Before Christening episode. So this episode starts off with Uncle Phil talking to Nicky in 1998. So he's, I believe, 6 at the time. And Nicky requests that Uncle Phil tell him his favorite story about how he got christened and how he got his 4 middle names. And so the episode itself takes place back in 1992, I want to say, when Nicky was actually born. And Nicky, or right after Nicky was born, pardon me. And so Will, in classic Will fashion. And I have to say, one thing about me rewatching this episode is I really forgot, and it's kind of a common theme in the show, and you don't really realize this, you know, as a kid. The amount of trouble that Will gets himself into just with his mouth is really impressive. How often he just needs to just shut his trap, and how so much more of his life would just be a lot easier if he just wouldn't talk as much as he does. But I love the way this episode starts off with Carlton hijinks, of course. Carlton's outfit in this episode, it's a holiday plaid with this green blazer, and yeah, Carlton's outfit I genuinely need. He's a wreath on like on the pocket of his jacket. Just Carlton's wonderful. He had he comments that he had Jingle Bells sewn into I think to his socks, which is something that I just found so incredibly extra. But again, it is Carlton. So the main crux of the episode is Nicky's learning about how he got his 4 middle names. But what's kind of lost in that is that because it is his christening, there is a silent competition about who can get Nicky the best present. And that was something that is actually very realistic because, you know, people are competitive in general. And I will say for myself, as someone who has coined themselves the Leslie Knope of gift giving, I would tell you guys what I got my partner for Christmas. I'll tell you after the holidays. It's a great gift, though, I will say. And getting what I got OJ for his for Christmas. I'm really excited. I love giving gifts. That's one of my love languages. And so when you see Will really not put any work into his gift at all, when you find out what everyone else got him, I was like, wow, Will, you're kind of fucking up here, man. What he initially gets Nicky is a hand puppet, and Jeffrey even comments, oh, that's where all of the cereal tops went. I was like, yeah, it's kind of a fugly gift to give your cousin for his christening. I don't know. I found myself very conflicted watching this. So like Uncle Phil got him 28 karat rattle, hand woven sleeper suit, I believe is what Hillary got him. So Carlton got him one of those like Power Wheel convertibles, which if you were a 90s kid or grew up in the 90s like I did, I always wanted one of those like Power Wheels like Jeeps or something like that. I always wanted one of those as a kid, and I never got one. And what a shame it is. But yeah, Will just kind of crappy on the gift front. So he is talking to Jazz, who can we just say, whenever I see DJ Jazzy Jeff, it is always a just wonderful and very welcome surprise. But Ashley is playing Boyz II Men on her boombox. Now, for you kids who are younger, a boombox is something you used to play CDs in. Oh, sorry. A CD is like a Frisbee that's really small, can fit in the size of your hand, that used to play music. That's what a Frisbee is. That's what a compact disc is. But Ashley's playing Boyz II Men. Nicky's stroller goes in tune with the music. And I will say, the kid they have playing Nicky as a baby, that kid looks terrified whenever whenever the stroller started bouncing. I got a morbid giggle out of that. So Will, in his infinite wisdom, after Jazz asked him, what did you get? Because Jazz got Nicky a stolen Rolex because Jazz is the best. Will tells him, oh yeah, I'm going to get Boyz II Men. Aunt Viv here, Aunt Viv number 2 overhears, and that's where our big conflict comes in. And again, like I said, if Will would just keep his mouth shut, it would make his life so much easier. But of course he doesn't, because I don't think he can. And I love how Aunt Viv overhears him telling Jazz, and then she tells Ashley. And so Will immediately, rightfully so, goes into crisis mode. So Will finds out that Boyz II Men are in town, recording a radio special. He goes in to try to go ahead and talk to him. It come to find out, Will had I don't want to say cock blocked, but kinda cock blocked one of the members of the band by making fun of his glasses and about his high singing voice, which of course, Boyz II Men, go figure, it actually helps him here. So one thing that I love about this is that this is very much the 90s, because first off, they're just in the studio singing. There's no women around. There's no booze. They have a box of donuts. That's as extravagant as Boyz II Men is getting. I found that genuinely hilarious, because if this was a recording session now, like if this was Will Smith trying to get Post Malone to go ahead and perform at Nicky's christening, it'd be a way different environment. A lot more Doritos, I'm sure. But that was something that I just found very 90s, how lax the security was too. I'm like, wow, they really don't care. They really don't care. It was actually pretty funny though. I was like, okay, this is very much a relic of its time, as it were. There is a point in this where Will's desperation does become genuinely hilarious to me, outside of just the first interaction, because the first time he gets thrown out, because why wouldn't he? But then when he comes back the second time, he's stolen Carlton's Santa suit, because again, why wouldn't he? And I hate to be that guy, but I have to bring up the fact that Will takes Carlton's Santa suit, and it fits Will like a glove. And again, really trying not to be that guy, but let's be fair here. Like how incredibly crappy he is, that whole situation is. And yeah, it's an interesting episode, because it does look at the dynamic, I think, of class, because Will obviously is still living there. It's a common thread and a common theme in the show. He never really feels like he belongs. There's that one episode where he is trying to get money for prom, and Uncle Phil writes him a check and he tears it up because he's like, I'm getting soft. And it's a running thread throughout the show. But this is just one of those cases where I'm like, Will, just take the L, man. Like, it's way easier if you go ahead and tell everyone you're not getting Boyz II Men than going through all these hoops trying to get Boyz II Men. It just, honestly, it probably gives him a better advantage, because then he knows what everyone else is getting. So then in theory, he can try to go ahead and at least get in the ballpark. I understand he's broke, but still. So of course the episode, do you really know, you know how this ends. I will say for myself, something that I genuinely forgotten about is that Helen and, seeing Helen and, Will's mom, I can never remember her name. but seeing them together wearing the same outfit and taking a very deliberate shot at Full House was something that Vi, that's what I always call her. I loved watching Vi and Aunt Helen giving each other shit because they are so incredibly just cutthroat when they're mean to each other. And as someone who spent a lot of time with people at family reunions, yeah, this is very accurate. Them wearing the same outfit and just ripping each other for it. I'm like, yeah, this is actually very realistic. The episode, of course, ends with Boyz II Men, and I really think, to put in perspective, people need to understand. Again, if you didn't grow up in the 90s, I get it, but if you're born after if you're born after the year 2000, you really do owe it to yourself to go back and listen to some old Boyz II Men. Boyz II Men had some incredible stuff, and just a little tidbit here that I got. I remember as a kid really not knowing who Boyz II Men were until this episode, and I discovered Boyz II Men, and there's a group called Take Six, which if you haven't heard of them, look up the He Is Christmas album. It's well worth your time. But I love the way this episode ended with Boyz II Men. I thought it was incredibly poignant, and just to get to see them go ahead and do their thing or something, I was like, okay, this is actually really cool. I like this. Again, it's just a shame that more people. I remember the last time I saw Boyz II Men, I believe it was on Justin Bieber's. It was like Justin Bieber, like they're seeing backup for him at a concert, and I remember going like, they deserve better than this. Like, I love Boyz II Men, and what the hell, that blows. But they are one of the best singing groups, really, probably ever. Probably the closest thing I feel like we might have gotten to one of the few groups that got in the ballpark of somewhere like the Temptations, even though not exactly the same. But as far as that group, where every single member of the group knew their role and knew how to sing, yeah, I think Boyz II Men was right there in that ballpark. So that's how Nicky got Nicholas Michael Sean Nathan Juan Banks. That's his full name, because he's got all the 4 names of the members from Boyz II Men, which I thought was a really clever way to actually explain that away. So just because of a couple gripes here and there, yeah, like I said, the Santa suit thing, I know it's one of those things that you almost have to let it go at a point, but I was like, okay, come on. And also the fact that Will just kind of skimped on the gift from Jump for such a big occasion. It's like, yeah, you kind of deserve to be in this crappy situation because you weren't thinking ahead. So, but regardless, of my Grinch, critic side, I still give this a solid A. This is an incredibly fun episode. It really shows, I guess you would call it the spirit, like the spirit of the holidays, or, that TV magic works. Maybe a little bit of prayer, because there's an alternate cut of this episode somewhere where everyone that church throws tomatoes at Will for lying to all of them. But it works out here because, TV. But overall, still an incredibly fun episode. I give it a solid A. But everyone, what did you think of what's your favorite Fresh Prince episode? That would actually be a fun question. What's a Fresh Prince episode you love? Let us know in the comments below. You can go ahead and like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. You can go ahead and oh my gosh, what am I talking about? Don't forget to like our second page too, Real Pineapple Games on Facebook. Don't forget to go ahead and follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. You can follow Scott on Twitter at Nearman1st. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher and iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, and TuneUp at The Real Pineapple. Thank you so much for listening. We will have reviews coming up here for the Christmas Chronicles and the Christmas Chronicles Part 2 for the holiday series. We'll have other holiday reviews for Batman Begins, or Batman Returns. Batman Begins doesn't take place during Christmas, and a few other things. I haven't decided what else we're going to review, but that's just a few of the things I can tell you guys that we've got come down the pipelines. And don't forget, we will have review live on Christmas for Wonder Woman 1984 as well as for Soul. I'm really excited to the review for Soul's already done, but I'm really excited to watch Wonder Woman 84. That's going to be a lot of fun. But everyone, please stay safe out there. Love on each other. Wear a mask. Stay safe. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Stay safe out there.